Yo, 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 yo. Um, what up? What up? What up? Let's see. What up, everybody? What's going on? Tiffany the Bell salute. Nicholas Brown. Daniel Berry. Cottage. What up, man? I'm just gonna put the link. I ain't gonna be here that long. I'm probably gonna be here like maybe less than an hour.
Night of having his
What's up with everybody, man? Y'all coming down with everybody? Let me see. Where everybody at? Oh, let me see something. I'm definitely won't be here. Hey, we got Daniel. Salute, Daniel Berry for the member for 1 month. Salute, appreciate that. A true one. What up, Swiss Cavs? I mean, hey man, y'all. I mean, hey, anybody can dream. I guess. Guess anybody can dream. Let me see. We got 6 people. What's up? We got on the Facebook. We got one. What's up? Shout out everybody on the Facebook side. Keep hitting that like button, all that stuff, man. Like I said, I ain't gonna be live that long at all. So Let me see. But um, yeah, I mean, hot take is, I mean, it's not going to happen. I mean, I mean, a wake up call for a Cavaliers team that's now the plot armor. The plot armor, new plot armor. For when you talk about the Celtics, I guess it depends who's writing the story. I mean, I guess Cavs got these new powers and new abilities that can do on a basketball court. Cause all of a sudden they play against the Celtics. Like every time I get somebody play against the Celtics, it's like some new type of plot armor. They can do certain things that can determine for the Celtics. You know what I mean? If we done, we definitely done with the Nuggets, bro, Jaden. We definitely done with the Nuggets. One up in the building. But yeah, man, them Timberwolves definitely got trash though. I mean, I said Timberwolves got trash. The Nuggets definitely got trash. Um, I didn't see the game. I just saw the highlights and I went back and see 35 points in halftime at home in your home. That's rough. Jamal Murray, Jamal Murray game. See, I want to talk about that too because y'all was glazing Jamal Murray, and hopefully Jamal Murray is fine. Hold up, you should. That's a fact. Just know Jamal Murray game three. Hold up, that's breaking news. Like I am the same dude that said Kaz wouldn't be Orlando, but I'm not surprised Kaz. I'm not surprised Kaz won. I'm also he got suspended. Yeah, he's a sore loser, sore loser. Jamal Murray, sore loser. Causes. I mean, that's bad. I mean, listen, listen, that's some sore loser stuff for Jamal Murray too. I mean, you playing bad. Understand? You gotta keep your composure at the end of the day. What up, Taj? I'm definitely am the same person that said the Cavs was going to lose to Orlando, but I also said that the Cavs should also win that series. Also, I just thought Orlando was going to give them. I just thought Orlando was going to give had a chance of winning, which they did. But hey, I was wrong, which is fine. But see, and let's talk about something too, because people will talk about talent this and talent that, and when people want to pick and choose when it comes to talent. With that being said, how talented the Cleveland Cavaliers are, because we all can admit that the talent, the Cleveland Cavaliers are more talented than the Orlando Magic. We can all agree with that, but it took them 7 games to beat the Orlando Magic team. But when we talk about talent for the Celtics, is a different conversation. Yes, not saying comparing talent, but when you're bringing up talent, our center was injured for 2 games. So what? So what? It doesn't matter if the if hold on let me uh hold up let me see remove from scene. Yes. Hold, I got you. I don't hear you. You trying to say anything? If you trying to say anything, I cannot hear you. may have to unmute you. Hold up. That should be fine. Hold up. Did I unmute him?
Yo, can you hear me?
Be good. You should be good now. You should be good now. Now since I muted, I don't know what I did. I don't know, but I guess I gotta do that from now on. But yeah,
Yo,
you
can
should
you
be
hear me?
good. Yeah, you good. Um,
Yeah, I was
but
about to
yeah.
say, Jamal Murray. I think he's going to get suspended. He threw a heat pack on the court while they were playing, and like,
Oh
he threw the
yeah.
heat pack by Timberwolves. Yeah, he might get suspended. That's crazy. He could have really injured somebody. He could have injured Timberwolves players or
I
his own
mean,
teammates.
hey, listen, man. But that's sort. Listen, you gotta keep your composure. Though. Like that's because you're getting embarrassed at home. Listen, play better.
Yeah,
And then the end of the day, that's uncalled for anybody. Like, come on, we've seen people get trashed all the time, bro. Like, that's selfish. It's selfish because you basically gave up on your team in a sense, right? You get your emotion get to you and basically gave up on your team because you're down 2-0 and the game was over with at the point, right, when he did it. Let's just be real. And it's like that's offensive. You can get suspended. So it's like he and he's hurt, but I mean, listen, y'all call this man a superstar. That's not superstar activities. I'm sorry. I mean, if you trying to tell me if this man Jamal Murray of all people can't keep his composure when the tough gets going, throwing like heat packs and shit like that, that's come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like you throwing heat packs, bro, on the middle of a game,
yeah, it was bad. It was he just completely lost his
and
composure.
he still missed,
That
and
was
he still
crazy.
missed, and he still missed.
Yeah.
You shoot, you was 3 for 19. You 3 for 9. You missing all night.
Nah, he was bad. Again, Jamal Murray hasn't been good this entire playoffs. I don't know why people thought.
He had some clutch shots, and that's the thing
No,
too,
no,
though. We've been
no, he was
saying,
good. He had moments. He had moments in that Lakers series, but for majority of that series, that nigga wasn't that good, bro.
but
Yeah, he
here's
had
the
a good
thing,
closeout game. He had a good moments in the fourth of that game two
and I
when he hit
told
that game
y'all,
winner.
man, y'all gotta stop overrating certain things about the Denver Nuggets, bro. I told y'all this for months now. Y'all be overrating certain things when it comes about the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah,
I've been saying, and I had Denver Nuggets come out the West at first. Let's make that clear. I just changed that pick just recent to the series because how the hold up, hold up,
yeah,
real quick. Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, hold up. How the fuck? Yeah, it's. I'm still sorry about it, but yeah, it's like it's end of the day. Yeah, you Jared.
Yeah, can you hear me, True?
Hold up. Yeah, yeah, you fix your background, bro. That was crazy. That was crazy. But yeah, but the point is though, it's like the point is though, like what up, young boy? It's like now I'm not gonna say the whole Nuggets is. I'm not even gonna say the Nuggets are front runners per se. I'm not gonna sit
front
there and say
runners.
that.
Nah, no, they're not
I'm not
front
gonna
runners.
say
They're
that,
not the
but
Suns or the Pacers. Those are front runners.
I do. I wouldn't even say Pacers. I don't think Pacers front runner. They just. I mean,
Nah, they be front running, man. They're not that good.
I mean they're a flawed team, but I mean I don't know. I wouldn't say they. I'm not gonna sit here and say Nuggets are front runners. What up, Sean? But I will say, um,
They're overconfident.
I will say like when people overrate the fact that the Nuggets can you pick them out the number, but you also been telling people is yes I've been Nahari Jerry everybody can contest this brother. Oh yes I've legit this yes you picked them to come out the West, but yes I because I was realistic though.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. I legit
Who
used
did
to
you pick
argue
out the
with
last time?
Sturdy. I legit was arguing with Sturdy saying that that's because that's because you have a high IQ. They do these certain type of things. Don't make them automatic to come. I legit said this. Hold on, yeah, that's that. Yo, that's Jerry. You gotta fix that, bro. I ain't gonna lie, you gotta fix that. Was crazy. What up, Sweezy? What else, Sweezy, man? But I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, like, like you said, it may sound crazy, but like you said before, I said the Wolves are not. I mean, the Wolves, the Nuggets are not invincible. I've said that. Like I said that when it comes to y'all were talking about the Celtics and the Nuggets favored to win. Well, they got big. They got tough ride. They got tough road to get to the finals.
Yeah,
I've always said I'm not surprised that Timberwolves can beat them. I'm not. You know what I mean? I
they have
legit
the
think
Timberwolves. The Timberwolves have personnel that can yeah, they got everything
what
the
made it
Timberwolves got things that the Lakers just didn't have, and the Lakers were still coming close to beating them.
what made
But
it bad
they
is Rudy
have
Gobert wasn't
they
there.
have great
Yeah, like the fact that Rudy Gobert
no
wasn't
no
there, they was able to do that.
no
Was
Rudy
crazy.
Gobert, and they still blow them out by 30. That just shows you how good their big man rotation is. The Timberwolves have such great bigs, bro. Nas Reed, Cat, and Rudy Gobert. Those are all big bodies you can put on Jokic.
Right. That's
The Lakers,
strong,
the only
bro.
big body they really had was AD. And again, he
Yeah.
was asked to do so much offensively. He was tired out there.
Right.
And they
Yeah.
also got great guards that can put pressure on Jokic and pick and roll actions and at the rim. So yeah, this is gonna be a tough series, man.
Hey, salute, True. How you doing, bro? How y'all
What
doing?
else? What else? What else, Sean? Because I know I didn't like I said. I didn't see the whole. Like I didn't see the game. I thought like I was at work and I just saw that the behind whooping the belts. I was like, what's going on? Like 35 points at halftime. Like is that a record?
Nah, nah, it's not a record.
No record.
It,
That might be the lowest the Nuggets ever scored in a half, though. It has
like
to
in a
be.
home, like they would say something about a home, like as a home team though. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's
It was
bad.
it was bad. It was
The-
like yeah.
I mean, I mean, two things, True. Just real quick. Number one, I think we gotta be careful about saying the defending champs are front runners.
Yeah,
They're,
I don't know who said that in the chat. Who said that? I don't know who said that in the chat again. That was crazy.
I mean, they are what every defending champ has been the last 6 years. They're the hunted. And they're gonna get every team's best shot, and they're gonna get every team's best night. And right now, they're getting Minnesota's best shot. The question is, as the defending champs, and as a lot of people's favorite to come out the West, can they adjust and can they figure out a way to get back in this series? We'll see. Game three if they can do that. Um,
and
and again, is every defending champ since Toronto front runners? Or are they just now getting everybody's best shot? Because that's the nature of being a champ.
there's no champs. No team that's won a championship is a front runner team. I don't understand why people would even say that.
Yeah,
But
I think it's disingenuous. I think you once you win, you become the hunted. You become the team that everybody wants to beat.
Right.
mhm.
Nothing against Gil's podcast, but ain't none of them won shit. Excuse my language. So
Yeah, but
how
yeah,
how to respond to that?
yeah. Especially when like that. It's crazy because like the baby thing. Like, come on, I ain't gonna tell somebody. Listen, if Rudy Gobert want to be there for his child, bro, for his baby,
Yeah,
and he tried to come back, and he tried to come back. I don't know why that was weird. He tried to come back, like
yeah, it's not basketball. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, what Minnesota is doing is they are making the series very physical, and they're trying to see if Denver will respond. Denver has not responded to the physicality, and they are outmaneuvering the Nuggets right now. It's simple as that.
Yep. And I'm going to say something too. Like I think, and this is just obvious. The only way the niggas gonna win this series, they're gonna have to win the seven. They're not. There's not winning four straight against this Timberwolves team, especially because they lost two home games to this team
yeah,
already. They're gonna have to win the seven. I'm not going to count the Nuggets out. I've seen them come back multiple times in the playoffs before. I'm not going to count them out, but they are going to have to win this series in 7 games.
Well, I mean, it's not impossible because they mathematically can still win in 6 games. Nahari, like we can't just say, oh, they got to win in 7. They could still mathematically win in 6 games. The fact is, they're not going to win anything if they don't make adjustments to what Minnesota's doing to them and figure out how do we counter what they've been doing to us.
Hmm.
'Cause again, the series for me has come down to Minnesota has been very physical, and it started with Jamal Murray and everybody, trying to compare this series to the Lakers series. Minnesota's way better on the perimeter defensively than the Lakers have been all year. And obviously, as you mentioned, they got the big bodies to throw at Joker. But to me, they are beating Denver at every facet of the game. They're beating them in the 50-50 game. They are not letting Denver get into their secondary actions. And what Denver does best with their ball movement, the ball's not moving. When you got Aaron Gordon going 1-on-1 in the half court, that's not Denver Nugget basketball. That's not how they.
Hmm.
So, and then the other thing too is with Jamal Murray being compromised and not playing well at all in these playoffs, Denver hasn't figured out how to consistently unlock Michael Porter Jr. in this series. Because from a scoring perspective, he's got to pick up, I think, the scoring load with Murray not being at that level.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I don't know what the situation with Murray. I think he's going to get suspended at least one game. I'm not at least one game because what he did was crazy. I can't even lie. Throwing a heat pack on the floor, that is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's I mean, guys do stuff, out of frustration. I wasn't gonna go too crazy about that. I think he's probably gonna get fined for it because it's obviously it poses a danger to the game. But like Mike Malone, I think was trying to get thrown out last night. Like it was.
I'm surprised he didn't get the tech for that. That was
I
crazy.
mean, yeah, the ref showed great restraint, but it's almost like the ref said, in my opinion, like, no, you're gonna stay here and watch the rest of this. If I got to be here, you got to be here. So, it's like, you know, um, So I mean, at the end of the day, Minnesota's been great the first 2 games. They won the first 2 games of the series on the road. You know, the series is not over up 2-0. So, we'll see, what Denver can do. And if Denver has anything to counter coming out Friday.
What up,
Hmm.
Chris? We got Chris UK
The
and
series,
Ace
the series
UK.
is far from over. I
Good,
don't know
True.
why
What's
people
good,
counting them
True? What's
out
going on with
saying
y'all?
it's over. It's far from over.
I don't think it's over, but the fact that they went into Denver and took both games on the road, that is kind of big though. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, yeah, sure.
When the
But
last time a team come back down when they home like that was I think the Celtics with Isaiah Thomas. What
No, no, it was
2018
well, no, I meant the
with
Mavs, the Mavs,
with Mavs. Oh, you're right, Matt.
the Clippers.
No, but they lost though. But they lost though.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, remember
Oh yeah,
the Mavs
I would
won the
say.
first two games in LA against
Oh
the Clippers,
yeah,
and then
Last year's even though they lost, we bring it up teams that lost to last year's Celtics. They dropped their first 2 games to the Heat. They wound up
yeah,
coming back in that series,
yeah,
forcing a
yeah.
seven.
yeah.
So
But
it's
They
possible.
can afford. It's possible they can. I mean,
yeah,
it's,
it's
it's
not
not over.
impossible.
It means it's not over yet. That's what it means. But the thing is
Yeah,
now they got to try to win it. It's going to be even harder now. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. No, I mean,
yeah.
yeah, the
Because
pressure.
now it's
Well,
like,
yeah. Well, the
because
one thing I
now,
will say, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
cause
True.
now it's like three. Because now it's like it's you know what I mean. They got Nuggets got four more I said Nuggets four. They got two more home games, and then the Timberwolves got three home games next home.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
got
the
3
next.
more home games.
So
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough.
My thing is, and again, I do think the Nuggets. I don't think it's over for the Nuggets, but the fact that the Timberwolves are like they're playing that really aggressive, old fashioned. Hey, I'm gonna lock you down for 48 minutes, like that stifling defense, where they're teetering between a foul and just being really physical and just being active on ball. Like their defense is terrifying to actually watch. Like they are picking the Timberwolves up wolves apart on the defensive end, like literally a pack of wolves. Like I've never seen,
Physicality.
yeah, I've never seen Jamal Murray like. And the thing is, like, I think that there are times where
Hey,
I think
he
that other
struggles with double teams.
yeah, but no, but they are harassing him with length and size, and that's what I said a week ago before the series even start. If a real team puts some real pressure on Jamal Murray, he's not as elite as other players to learn di- how to dissect and to get out of those certain situations because they are meeting him at the spots and they're making him pretty much be reaction and make the proper read. So far in this series, he's not doing that. Now, granted, he is hurt, but again, you're talking to someone that does not use injuries as an excuse. If you are out there, you are playing
Right,
regardless.
right.
So he's got to figure out a
Yeah.
way to work around that. Jokic has got to be more effective in this series, but this team is just so excuse my French. This team is
Jokic
very
got to
long
give it a
and
little bit
lengthy.
more effort defensively because he's getting
Exactly.
fried.
Yo,
It's
Jokic is
layup
getting
lines at
fried.
the rim.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
but you watch if you watch the Timberwolves offensively in the half court, they are targeting him specifically. They're
They
like,
are.
Yep.
we are we're going to, and I use the example. It's not apples to apples, but one of the things that changed in 2016 in the finals was when the Cavs started targeting Steph Curry, and they started getting really physical with him. And I think it took away from what he would traditionally do offensively. The
I
Wolves
agree
are
with
kind
that.
of employing some of those same tactics against Jamal Murray, coupled with the fact that he is compromised. But to Chris's point, you're out there, you got to play. I mean, there's just
You know,
no way around it, and he got to play better, hurt or not.
Yeah,
he
even
has
if
a play.
he's again, I don't know where he's at as far as his injury, but I'm expecting more than what he had tonight. 13 points, like horrible efficiency. Like
He
it
shot
was
three of
just
18. It
Yeah,
3 of 18.
was
Yeah, like you got to do better than that.
mean,
Injured or not,
Yeah.
that's
it was
just
a forty
terrible.
percent in the entire playoffs. Like, and
Three
Yeah.
that,
three for night, 3 for 19 with that Miss Heat pack.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so. I mean, we'll see what happens. Again, I'm not playing on Jamal Murray's downfall. I'm just saying it's a lot different when he's dealing with an actual defense
I
and
will
guys
say
that will get
this.
up into him
he's
versus
Yeah.
never been.
Austin
He's
Reeves
never been.
and
But
I've
D'Angelo
never
but
been
I
Russell.
high on
It's not
will
Jamal
the
Murray.
same.
but I will say this though. If he gets cause I ain't gonna lie, that is a suspension of like what he did should be get suspended. You throwing
He
heat pack on
should.
the floor
Yeah,
and
that I
shit.
agree with.
Yeah,
Well, okay, at
in the
least
regular
fine because
season,
I think Rudy Gobert got
He's
fined
getting
for
fined.
something similar. He
yeah,
might
no,
get
he's getting
fined
fined.
like half a
Well,
mil.
Rudy Gobert
Yeah,
punched your team. He
fine.
got suspended. He got
Yeah. Oh,
suspended when he
wait,
punched
what? I thought
when he punched
I thought
Kyle
he got fined.
Anderson.
But
He got
No, he got
put.
suspended.
that
That's
was
a
a
Oh,
team
team.
okay,
that was
that's
a
cool.
team
Okay.
suspension. That wasn't a
That's
league
a team.
Oh, that
Oh,
was the team
Yeah,
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 that's
yeah,
suspension.
yeah,
right.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
You
okay.
That's
right.
what I expect. Yeah. So the league,
Oh,
I
they're
I know
not
they
going. They're
fined him.
not going. They're going
Not
heavy.
even
They're
not
going
even
to find them
suspended. They
heavy
are
though.
gonna find. They're gonna find him. They are gonna find him.
Okay, yeah, that I agree
But
with.
that be as. But even like that. I mean, that regardless of he getting suspended or not, though, you can't lose your composure like that. And the other teams going to see that you giving more. You giving more ammo. You can't be doing that. Like that's. I mean, come on, bro. Like
Truth be
Yeah.
told, though, I think
yeah,
the
because
refs were trying everything in their power to let the Nuggets win because they let the Nuggets get away with so much crap. I'm just like, bro, come on,
Yeah.
come on, man. They were trying to give the
they scored
Nuggets a
35
game.
points at half. They scored
Yeah,
35 points at halftime.
I don't necessarily. I mean, I don't so much
So
agree with that because again, the Nuggets were complaining a lot about the physicality, and the rest were letting them play. So I think it was on both sides. I don't think it was they were.
Cause here's the thing too, y'all. We got to understand. Cause yes, we understand Lakers are a good defensive team, but when it comes to the all around physicality from top to bottom, it's not compared to other teams we be seeing in these playoffs. If you watch other playoff series, we've seen way more physicality in other series. Where so when the Nuggets finally get to see against a team that plays that level of physicality and intensity, is a different. And it's like they wasn't out, and it's like you. This is because like if you notice too, like I don't know what they did, middle of the season to all the way now when they talk about they want more defense being played, and defense is being more played now. So
Yeah.
Nuggets bird adjust.
Also, just
You
really
know what I
fast,
mean?
guys, can we give some love to Nas Reed, please? Like, just the defensive job that he's
Yeah.
doing on Nikola Jokic. Like
Yeah,
Nikhil
I
Alexander
have to give
Walker
him his
too. He's
flowers, man.
been so good off the bench, bro.
yeah,
He's
underrated.
so good. Oh my god, bro. Honestly, he was not on my radar for like a minute, until I started, watching you guys, hearing more stuff about it. But Nas Reed is a big factor in this series, bro. Like I didn't think he was gonna
Yeah,
be this effective against someone like a Nikola Jokic because he's a little bit undersized, when it comes to some of the bigs that Nikola Jokic have been facing. But it's just his length, his physicality. Like he's really pushing Jokic off his spots. I'm like, this dude's amazing.
Yep.
I mean, listen,
yeah,
they value him. That's why they paid him. That's why they gave him $100 million contract, despite having Rudy and Cat. They value him, and you're seeing his value play out. I think not even just in this series, but even just this year. When Cat was out, they were still very much a very very effective basketball team without arguably, pretty much their second best player. So yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
that's why I
Wolves.
was so surprising because I think everybody thought like, man, Jokic is going because he's not going to have to deal with that all time great rim protection and really go bare. But man, I mean, the
yeah.
Timberwolves was just so physical with him. They made him think about everything, and Jokic couldn't really pass over the length of Nas Reed and Cat. He
Well,
can't
that
really pass over that length. Like he can, obviously, he's one of the better passers in NBA history, but he struggled passing over that length, and you can see it
Well,
with his playmaking.
the issue is also with Nikola Jokic. Like he would get so deep in the post that even if the double does come, these guys can go ahead and rotate because the team is just so long and athletic that even being one pass away, they can still contest a really good shot. That's why MPJ isn't getting off these shots as much as he is. That's why it's difficult for Jamal Murray to get off. Like it's really hard for their shooters, to get consistent jump shot. And on top of that, they don't really have that much of a bench. So I don't see how the Nuggets can realistically come back in this series. If they do, kudos to them. But I just think that the Timberwolves have their number.
I mean, there's a couple things they can do. Um, number one, um, if you want to get particularly MPJ going, it's got to be more double screen, meaning you're not just screening one guy, you're screening two guys, so you're forcing Minnesota to try to adjust to that's the first thing. If he's coming off pin down, there's got to be double screen action in the half court. I think the second thing the Nuggets can do, just from a mentality standpoint, is respond with physicality. Meaning a team that is literally
Yep.
just beating you have to fight back. And again, it may take a hard foul, it may take a hard screen on somebody, but you got to let them know you're here. And they haven't done that yet in this series. And true, you'll appreciate this because you know the deal. It's what Kevin McHale did to Kurt Rambis that changed the '84 finals because the Lakers stopped focusing on playing basketball and started focusing on winning the fight. You got to see if this Minnesota team will do that. You got to do something.
Absolutely. Yeah, you
Um,
can't let these
And I
guys
will,
blow
and I
you
will, I
around.
will say this real quick because I'm about to get up out of here. If Jamal Murray keeps playing like this, we're going to have to start having some crazy conversations about who he is as a player. Because the only reason people put him up there in these conversations with the Jaws of the world, with the top 10 point guards, top 5 point guards, is really because of his playoff translation.
No, I'll be
If
honest.
if,
Honestly,
if he doesn't have that, I'm sorry, he's not in these conversations
And
no
here's the
more.
at
thing,
all.
and I'm gonna say this: like Jamal Murray is still quote unquote a good player performer. He told like his whole career, right? This is
Yeah,
probably like the worst he's probably ever played. But the point to your point though, Nahari, like people are using that as a to skyrocket him in certain conversations. Like y'all got, and I told y'all got to slow down because okay, so when he, because now we was in the Discord and all you hear are people using the injury excuse,
hmm
and it's like,
hmm
I mean, we've been telling y'all this man been hurt before the season started, and he
true.
could be, but y'all didn't care, about that,
True. Do you want to
but
hear the most disgusting thing that I've actually heard? I've heard people legitimately say if if the Nuggets somehow win their second championship, that Jamal Murray is a Hall of Famer. Think about that. I've heard people legitimately say that Jamal Murray will be a
Shout out to
certified
Cedric
Hall of
Max.
Famer
Shout
if they
out to
win the
Cedric
second
Maxwell.
championship. I'm like,
Shout out to
you are
corn.
all stupid. Every
Shout out
last
to
one of you.
corn. Shout out to cornbread, man. Shout out to cornbread. Shout out to Cedric Maxwell. If we doing that, then hey, everybody can get in. I mean,
Yo,
I'm just
absolutely.
saying.
And this is why people complain about the Hall of Fame being watered down.
Hey, listen.
Listen,
Hey,
go ahead.
Jamal Murray can be he can be in the Canadian Basketball Hall of Fame. I think
Oh
they
yeah,
may
for
have a
sure.
Canadian Basketball Hall of Fame. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
1,000%. I agree with you
I
on that.
mean, listen, Jamal Murray don't have to be in the Hall of Fame. Like at the end of the day, he's gonna go down one of the best
He's
Nuggets
a
of all
good player.
time.
Exactly. He's a
His
good
jersey
player.
going his jersey gonna get retired. He's gonna be remembered as you know what I mean, guy that you know what I mean, paving the way for Canadian basketball.
For sure.
Um, he's gonna be good forever. You don't gotta make a Hall of Fame. It's cool, but like yeah, like for yeah, that's crazy. Like people get mad about the Hall of Fame, but then people want Jamal Murray to be in the Hall of Fame.
Which is
Like,
really
Crazy.
come
weird. But let me ask y'all this though, because I'm be honest with y'all. This might be a hot take, maybe to y'all. I don't even think that Jamal Murray is a top six point guard in the league right now. I think
That's
there are
not a
six
hot
guys.
take.
Yeah,
That's not a hot take. I've been saying like he stopped saying like
Really?
he's on the lower end of saying like in
he's
that
top
9 to 10 range.
Yeah,
He's in that
I think he's
nine
top.
8 to 10
I think he's
range.
top. Yeah. And so I think he's top 10 in the West, but I don't think he's top 5. Like I think Ja, De'Aaron Fox, Luca. Let me see,
That's
SGA. Yeah,
SGA.
SGA and
Tyrese Halliburton's
Diallo.
better.
Yeah, do y'all throw Kyrie in there? Since he sometimes play the
I
point,
don't know.
or do y'all put him like
We
at the
can throw
two?
him in. I mean, Kyrie's better, but I mean, if you want,
I,
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure.
I
Kyrie
don't
is
know.
yeah,
definitely better. So
I
that's
mean,
five.
Dame is still better than him.
Steph too.
I mean,
Steph is better.
I don't. I mean, I don't like comparing guys like that because those guys generally have different roles for
I
their
say point
team.
guard.
Yeah,
I say
No,
point
no,
guard.
no, no, no I'm
Guard,
saying,
guard. I'm not even saying like guards in general. I'm just saying like point guards in general. Like
but point guard is relative because again, what does your team need you to do
yeah.
at that position, right? What they need him to do at that position, he did effectively last year. He is not doing that this right now at all. Um, so I think it's top or where you rank somebody is relative to what does your team need you to do? What are they asking you to do night in and night out to help the team win?
I just don't think he's as good as a lot of those players he named. He's just not as good as them
But
as a
again,
player.
but again, it's I don't think it's about what comparing him to them. It's what does he do relative to what that team in Denver needs,
no, I
right?
get what he needs.
Yeah,
No, I get what he needs, but I'm comparing him like if you gave Jamal Murray his own team, he couldn't do what those other guys were asked to do. Because I think other point guards in his position could do what he does better. Like and De'Aaron Fox, especially off that dribble handoff, them just attacking the rim the way that they do. Like I think that's poetry in motion. I just think there's a lot of guards that can do what he does for Jamal Murray's position better, just because he has less responsibility compared to other guards in the league. Because they don't have a Nikola Jokic by their side,
right.
aka
Yeah, but again,
top
I
three
think
player in the game, arguably the best.
yeah, but the thing is, Chris, you can say that about a lot of guys, right? It's we consider Magic Johnson the greatest point guard ever. Most people do anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But he also played with who a lot of people think is the greatest player ever in a
Yeah.
lot of
Right.
instances. So
Mhm.
it's not so much, it's what does your team need you to do? When they needed Magic to just be a facilitator, score a little bit, but mostly be a facilitator, help
Mhm.
lead, run the team, he did that well. But when they said, hey, Magic, we need you to score more now, we need you to take on more of that responsibility and still facilitate and still be, he was able to do that and they were able to win as well. So I think it's truly relative to what does a team need you to do to help them win.
I don't disagree with that. My only thing is when it comes to the Magic Johnson comparison is that you can't ask Magic to play multiple positions. Can you not?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question.
No, it's okay. So I'm saying, so the difference between him and Jamal, or at least bringing up Magic Johnson, for example, you can at least ask Magic Johnson to play multiple positions, or you could ask him specifically, "Hey, if we need you more for rebounds, bounds, then we can go ahead and head and get you in position. Like you can actually stick Magic Johnson's nose on the backboard, and he can grab you 10 plus boards if he needs to. If you want to tell Magic, to go for 45 and play more of that shooting guard role, just to strictly score, he can do that. Now, granted, he did not play the five; he just jumped ball at the five, but he can play multiple positions. You can ask him to do multiple things on the
Right,
court.
right, Chris, because he was 6'9".
Correct.
So so I think that's part of. I'm just saying. I think a lot of times we compare guys and say, "Oh, this guy's better than this guy. This guy's better than this guy." And I'm not saying that there aren't guys who aren't better than other guys, but I think again, part of when you're evaluating someone, it has to be relative to what that team is asking them to do in any sport. What does this team need you to do to help them win? Right. I think, and I'm going to use a baseball example. Alex Rodriguez was a better talent than Derek Jeter. But Derek Jeter did what the Yankees asked of them for him to do for them to win. So it's sometimes it's situational, sometimes it is a matter of talent. I just think again, what Jamal Murray, what they asked him to do in Denver, he's done well previously. He is not doing anywhere near that now for I think for different reasons.
No, for sure.
Again, so saying, "Oh, we just put this other guy in this situation," well, we don't know, And again, I think it's and particularly in a situation where he is not their best player. We know he's not their best player. How many guys are going to be okay going into a situation and say, "I know this guy's our best player. I'm going to figure out how to play off of him and be effective off of him to help us win." Not every guy does that.
No, I agree with you in terms of Jamal Murray playing his role. I have no issues with that. It's just again, just for me personally, I just can't put him above other guys. Now, granted, I understand his role on the team and he's doing it really, really well. But all I'm saying is, if you ask him to essentially do a little bit more than what's being asked, if he's being pressured by much higher level defense, I just think that other guys can adjust to it better than what Jamal Murray is in this series, and that's really my own thing. Now, if he's adjusting and he's playing his role, and who knows if he starts playing well throughout these next couple games, he gets a little bit more healthy and he starts to really ball out in this series, I will give him his just do. But until then, I just haven't seen it, so I'm going to stick to that at least until I see otherwise. But I still think that this Minnesota team is still going to cause him problems in this series. But we'll see.
Yeah, until they adjust. Absolutely. Yeah, until they adjust. Yeah.
What up, Tracy?
Is he in?
I think he's on mute. True.
Oh, yeah, he is on mute.
Yeah.
He should do it. Yo, let me see.
Hello.
Yeah, you good? Yeah, you good, Tracy? What up, Tracy?
Salute everybody. How y'all doing?
What up, Tracy? How
What
you
up,
doing?
Tracy? What up, man?
Yeah, I woke up. Well, no, I went home last night. I was just trying to get some rest. They locked them boys up, man. That was penitentiary defense right there, bro.
I'm gonna say this too. I ain't gonna hold y'all. If I hear anybody say they don't play defense in the era, bro, I'm not having I will not have a
Yeah.
conversation. Then we ending the conversation.
But let me say
Even
this though.
I've been saying that even before this game, by the way. But it's like I can't take you serious as when we wanted to have conversations on talking basketball. I
Could
mean,
we could we very well have OKC versus Timberwolves?
I would love that series.
I
Uh,
I don't
they
I don't
gotta go get the Mac. Hold up, the
hold
Mavericks
on,
got
man.
something to say
Hold on,
about
son.
that, bro.
I'm not saying that OKC is going to straight beat the Mavericks. But if we're going off a series, if you're going off of matchups, and we're like somebody like other people been going off a series matchup, OKC has beaten the Mavericks. And when it comes to OKC, they do have various different matchups that they could throw at the Mavericks that the Clippers didn't have.
Well, I mean, just for point of reference, just even this year, how many times did Minnesota beat the Suns in the regular season?
None.
Uh, they swept them. They swept them.
And not even just swept them. I think we
Yeah.
won most of those games by most of those games by double digits.
Yeah. So
So
But
you
they,
know, yeah. So for me, Tracy, I've always said playoffs really comes down to three things: health, matchups, and adjustments.
well,
Um,
right now, Denver need all of them. So what's the help gonna
yeah,
be?
yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely the health.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
No, but I agree with you, son. I'm
yeah.
just saying that OKC could beat the Mavericks. Now, Mavericks could beat them, but here's my thing: with the way Timberwolves are playing defense, if they're playing defense like that, now they've been like they was playing defense against the Suns. Everybody was talking about Kevin Durant was I had to apologize to Kevin Durant. We may need to apologize to Phoenix Suns.
No,
People were talking.
no,
People were talking about
Nice.
Phoenix Suns. Oh, they suck.
no, no, no,
But the
no.
way, the Timberwolves are beating the Denver Nuggets, they ain't even coming close in the second game.
Yeah, and I think I mean, my God, Jesus. Uh,
what? All right, man. You getting all right, bro? All
yeah,
right, bro. That was
What
crazy.
happened?
I'm
no,
not even gonna. That was.
look at the comments. I'm like, Jesus.
I might. Like, yeah. Come on, bro.
I
Uh,
mean, the Suns basically just got reverse swept. They beat them 3 times in a row in the
Like
regular season,
that
and
was
then you got
insane.
got reverse swept in the playoffs. That's wild.
yeah, and again, I think it was. I think what Minnesota is basically saying is, if you're going to beat us, you got to play with a certain physicality because we're going
Yep.
to do that physicality.
They are.
And what we've seen in the first 6 games in the playoffs is none of these teams have figured out for a full game how to match that physicality. I thought Phoenix in one half did a good job of playing pretty well with it. But then when Minnesota decided they were going to turn up the heat, the Suns became the Moons.
But I tell you one thing. I tell you one thing about Denver. I tell you one thing that Denver can do better. Here's what Denver can do. They can't do that pick and roll with Jamal Murray and Jokic. I'm sorry, not in this series. The
I
pick and
agree.
roll that they should do is Eric Gordon. They need to bring them two bigs and put them in a pick and roll, and get them moving. And I think Eric Gordon would be a better person to do that pick and roll with Jokic,
Mm.
because
I mean,
Jamal Murray is getting handled with the ball in his hands.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think what Minnesota's done a good job of too is their ability to cross match.
Yep.
They're not coming out with the same alignments every single time down. They are cross matching well. And so, yeah, I think Tracy, to your point, yeah, you know, who's
'Cause-
guarding Gordon, and can Aaron Gordon be used better in that pick and roll? But the problem with the Aaron Gordon pick and roll, unfortunately, is his jumper is incredibly inconsistent.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
essentially, if I'm defending it, I'm going under 100 out of 100 times and daring him to shoot.
Yeah.
But
So
Which they've been doing already.
yeah, so it's I mean, I think there are a couple things Denver can do, but the main thing Denver has to do from a mentality standpoint, and do it early in the game, send a message.
what Denver can do, and this is what they are not used to doing. They're used to methodically just coming up, getting their offense. But what Timberwolves is saying
They're
that
rushing.
you basically got to play like them. You
Yeah,
basically got to get out, throw that ball ahead, and get early offense. And they did that. They did that a couple plays. If you see in the second quarter or third, when the bench came in,
yeah,
that bench sped up the offense. They was attacking early.
yeah. And from Denver's bench perspective, and I don't know why Mike Malone is doing. Well, I think I know why he's doing it, but it's really playing into Minnesota's hands. Is you can't play Peyton Watson and Christian Braun at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you basically allow Minnesota's defense essentially to rest and just compact the game. So, I do believe that they are. They're just beating Denver at every facet of the game and outmaneuvering Denver. And Denver's got to figure out, and we match this level of physicality by being physical of ourselves and try to. And you're not gonna win games pretty in this series. You're gonna win if you're Denver. You gotta win some ugly games if you're gonna try to win games in this series, and they're not doing that.
The only thing I'm gonna say to Denver, the best thing, the last thing they could do is help. Throw in the towel.
That's stupid. Yeah.
Because if they hold on, because Denver beat them, if Minnesota beat them in Game 3, they ain't gonna get a game.
I mean, all Minnesota got to worry about is just protect home court, get one, at least get one of those games.
Yeah,
All they got to do is get one of those games, and
yeah, and again, we just saw last year the Celtics go down 3-0,
you so
and come back and make it a 7-game series. But it's one game at a time. It's not trying to win 4 games
yeah.
to one.
Oh, shout out to that New York game. That was a really good game, but at the end, that was horrible. I'm gonna say something about the refs.
I ain't gonna lie, New York. I ain't gonna lie, they trying to have New York like
Now you know what New York is trying to
back.
do. You know,
Like
you
I
know
ain't
what New
gonna
York is
lie
trying
though,
to
they
do.
because now it's like, all right, we see what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to get New York back in the spotlight. Y'all got the right form. Y'all ain't slick, bro. Like, come on, y'all
Hey, so
ain't
let me
slick.
so let me ask y'all this thing really quickly. But before we get to the refs, do y'all think Brunson? Because I heard FYF say that Brunson is not a superstar. Do y'all at least think he's a superstar in the making?
No, he's not a superstar. He's a
In the
He's an
star.
all
making,
star
though. In
right
the
now.
making.
He's not a
Oh my
superstar in the
god.
making. He's not a
Well,
superstar.
Not even close. Oh, okay.
well, let me ask you something, Chris.
Because he play in New York. Just because he play in New York, bro. Like,
He has
come
the
like
marketability.
Yeah,
It's
well, let me,
possible.
no,
let me
he
ask,
had the marketability because he play in New York. Like that's really it. Like
yeah, well, let me ask because my question whenever anybody says that, my question is, how do you define a superstar?
I go off talent, marketability. Like you have to be able to at least
he's
sell
not
out the spot.
marketable, but he's
Not
not marketable like that.
I'm not saying he's not marketable, but the spot that he's in could make him more marketable, especially if he starts to put up like these, because right now he's averaging what 38 throughout this entire uh, playoff run. I'm not saying that he is a superstar. I don't think he is. I'm just saying, do you think that realm will always be shut off for him? Like, do you think that if you see him doing this for the next 3 or 4 years, of him averaging 35 plus in the postseason, but behind
He's
that big
not.
market that he has, you
I
don't think that
mean,
it's even a conversation?
I'm gonna
he's
say
not.
this.
But
I think Lamont is right. I think the person that will become a superstar is already on the verge of superstar is Anthony Edwards. But as far as like Brunson, I think he's an all star. I
I
gotta
think he's an
see
all
him.
star right now. Right now
I
as
got
well.
I gotta see
he
him do
also,
this a couple more years.
yeah.
That's why I said if you see him do this consistently for about, because I don't think he is right now. I'm just saying maybe he does this consistency in the postseason, like
I
maybe
mean, but he's
three or
not
four
going.
years.
But he's not consistent. He's not going to be able to do that though. He's not going to sustain that though.
So you think that
That's
this
just,
season right now is an anomaly?
he's going to be good. And he's going to be great, whatever he is. But he's not going to keep sustaining this. It's just, I mean, we do got to relax. Like
Yeah,
Well,
we
I
I
do
think
don't
got to
think.
I
relax.
Well,
think
I don't think there'll be any conversation of him
We
being the
do got to
face of,
relax.
of the league of anything of that nature, because the media has to
I'm
push
just
him
I'm
as
I'm gonna
well.
say this. We gotta relax on that talk though, because I'm telling you this right now. That shit gonna get shut down quickly.
I think two
Like
things just true real quick. Number one, the marketability of someone I don't know necessarily defines them as a superstar because Tim Duncan, by all accounts, was not overly marketable.
right.
But I think most people would consider him
A
obviously the
superstar.
greatest power forward ever and a superstar. So I don't know if his marketability factors in. I think the question ultimately has to be asked: is this a guy? If this guy is your best player, are we a championship contender, legit championship contender, not just 1 year, but over a series of time? That you know, this guy's our number one guy, makes us a championship contender. That I don't know about Jalen Brunson because again, this is. I mean, he showed some flashes last year, but. I mean, this year he's taking his game to another level, crazy as it may seem, and
Mhm.
particularly in the playoffs. And so I mean, I think that remains to be seen.
So
Um,
if we're just going off of your criteria of just the best player on a championship team, if we're just going off of strictly that
right.
criteria, now do you guys have to physically see the guy win a championship, or can he get close, like a Karl Malone or maybe like a Jason Tatum, where like he gets close, he has a team, but he hasn't won it yet?
I mean, you gotta look at Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum been to the Eastern Conference
Conference
Finals how many
Finals, yeah, like
times?
4 times,
Yeah,
like 4 or 5 times.
yeah. And again, I think that's the thing, Chris, is like we know the Celtics with Jason Tatum as their number one are a
Hmm.
legit contender and have been for the past few years.
For sure.
So I think that by proxy puts him in that superstar conversation for me without question. Um, and factor in, yeah, he does have the other stuff that comes with it too. But so I don't think you necessarily have to win to get it, but I think you got to be in legit contention.
Like you have to be close at least.
Yeah,
At the
yeah,
very least, close. Okay.
yeah. You got to be. You got to be. I mean, you got to be. Every year, this team is in that conversation, and it starts with having this guy as your best player.
Okay. I mean, I could throw out a couple of other names just to see how much that line kind of teeters,
Yeah,
but I'll just save that for when the postseason ends. So, got
right.
True. Is Jamal Murray gonna be suspended?
No,
he'll
He
get
should
fined.
be.
he's gonna get fined. No, he's gonna get fined.
He's no. He should be suspended. Him and Michael
Playoff
Malone.
money, playoff money.
Yeah,
Sean remind
playoffs.
me.
They're gonna be hard pressed to do it. I know you're still mad about 2016, Tracy, but yeah, they ain't gonna suspend him.
Hey, I ain't mad at that. I mean, I'm mad at. You talking about the because the one that he should have got suspended before in the playoffs, but I mean, it is what it is, man. Hey, I seen Anthony Edwards get a tech. Michael Malone got up in the referee face.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was crazy. Yeah, respectfully, I would have to push you off me or something.
Yo,
Ain't
yeah,
back
no you gonna
off,
cuss
man.
me out
Hey,
in my
hey,
face
getting your
like that.
hey, I would
Oh,
if
yeah,
I was a
crazy.
referee, I'd be like, if I were yo, getting your player face like that, getting your ass whooped like this. Don't get in my face, getting Jokic's own face for getting locked up like this, getting bullied.
yeah,
You don't get in my face, getting them player faces. You know what I mean? You in the wrong person face. Tech,
Facts.
I'll be a pain.
Spitting in my
Cause
face
that
and
ref was gonna
everything. Nah,
that
I
ref was gonna
can't
do
have that.
something.
Oh,
huh?
I thought that ref was gonna hit him. He
No,
was like, "Man, don't you come up in my face."
yo,
Oh,
y'all
oh,
wow.
well, nah,
I
most
ain't
coming.
wow.
well, I mean, most refs know like it's a heated game. They show some level of restraint. I thought they were gonna tee him up, and I don't
At
know
the very
if he
least.
already had a technical at that point too, because I know if he did, some refs always generally are kind of hard pressed to give a guy their second tech if they already had one. So I don't know if had already been teed up at that point, but that could have played into it as well. So it's yeah,
I'm I'm trying. I'm trying.
So Boston played tonight.
For the
Yeah, we
Cavs
play
yeah,
tonight,
yeah,
Cleveland.
we should be playing Boston, but you know what?
Yeah,
It's okay though.
It
you
is
know
what
Next
what?
it
time.
is,
I think
man.
Boston got lucked out. If they would have played Orlando, that would have been a better matchup for them. I mean, harder
Yeah,
matchup.
could they bigger, and I
Yeah,
think
more
Jamal
size.
Mosley.
But
I think Jamal Mosley also the bird. I mean, his Jamal Mosley is an underrated coach.
Is Jerry Allen injured? Is Jerry Allen
yeah,
gonna miss the
He
game
got
one?
rib.
yeah, he still has a rib.
Yeah,
I think it's a rib bruise or like a rib fracture.
yeah, and that's still either. Regardless, though, in a series like this, even if he do come back, he's still gonna be affected by that. He gonna be in pain.
yeah.
Me and Mitch gonna have to
So,
go off for them to even get one
but
game,
that's
and
even. But
I'm
that's
I'm
even.
hesitant
But
on that too.
But that's even the thing, because Jalen Brown he probably gonna be his primary defender
He
on him,
is
and that's not gonna be easy.
him or Derek
You know what I
White.
mean?
Well,
I
I'd say
mean, even with and it's like even like you said, they going all the screens wherever the case may be, they going if you say hey, Derek like the cross matching and things of that nature. I
Yeah,
mean,
there's no clear cut favorable matchup for Donovan Mitchell in this series. Like I said, I hope he goes off because he's my favorite shooting guard in the league right now. But
yeah,
we'll
but
see.
it's gonna be tough. I mean, guard. It's gonna be. It got Cleveland. It got to be a team effort. As long as Dean Wade not playing, I think we should be good, man. If y'all know, as long as Dean Wade not playing, long Dean Wade. Listen, if I see Dean Wade, if Dean Wade, you know, what I mean,
Dean
you
Wade.
know,
Well, true. I'm gonna
Dean,
talk
no
smack about
Dean,
my
no, I'm talking
Cavs,
about
dude. Come on,
the
man.
dude, because he dropped he dropped like 20 points in the fourth quarter or something like that
Yeah, Kobe
against the
Dean
regular
Wade.
season.
Kobe Dean Wade. Yeah.
Dean Wade, if he had, listen, hey, listen, he playing.
And Stoops be doing that too, though.
Huh?
I
Stoops
ain't
be
gonna hold
cutting
you.
up in
Oh
the
no,
fourth
the one
quarter.
on left hand side is the women's restroom.
Yeah, I'll be hollering. Listen, if they play him, I'm gonna be crying if they play him. I don't be into like that's funny. It's like, all right, man. Listen, we got what else? Swish. We got Swish.
What up, Swish?
And we got two cat. We got a lot. Hey, we got a lot. It's a lot of Cavs fans. Shout out to Khalil. Shout out to Sneeze. Shout out to Swish.
I think
Who else?
Swish's mic is still mute.
Bro, let me say something about my Cavs, man, in the series. Can I do that, True?
Yeah.
All right, man. It's gonna take a lot for them to win some games, man. They're giving up a lot on the talent side. You know, the Celtics are gonna have to play poorly in order for the Cavs to win, like poorly for like a large duration of the game, like droughts where they can't score, you know, lapses on defense. It's just gonna be really hard for the Cavs to win these games. You know, and without Allen, that makes the paint more vulnerable. Mobley's gonna have to do more. Offensively, the Cavs can, sputter and putt around. You saw the Magic. Bro, the Magic aren't even good. Like, if you watch some of those games against the Magic, there were times where the Magic couldn't score. They
Yeah,
couldn't
they
score
awful.
100. You know, and I'm not saying the Cavs aren't good defenders. The Cavs team defense is pretty good. But most NBA teams can score 100 on anyone. You know, and they just weren't able to do that consistently. So I ain't got no faith in the Cavs to really. I mean, if they win a game, that'd be cool. 2 games, I'd say they overachieved. But D. Mitch is really the only guy who can consistently get you 30 if you needed it, right? The big games, and then you know, I don't know, man. I'm looking at the Celtics. They got weapons, man, and the Cavs defensively don't match up well to those weapons. Mobley can only defend one guy. You know, he can't be in 3 places. Defensively, these other guys like Okoro, they're offensively challenged. I mean, Banchero was killing those guys anyways. I'd say Tatum is a better scorer than Banchero. You know, I'd say Jaylen Brown is
Yeah.
because he's more seasoned and as a playoff player, he's more of a threat than Banchero. You know, and I think the Celtics have aspirations to finish the series quick. So I'm
There's
five
something
games best
there's something that
case.
Cleveland can do.
I'm just pissed off at Franz Wagner for going 1 for 13
He got to
in
start
Game
getting a
7.
consistent jumper.
I was not happy about that, bro.
He got to get a consistent
We
jumper.
had an 18-point lead and we couldn't close.
That
I was so ashamed. But it's okay though.
Man.
You know
Young
what?
team,
We took the
man.
Cavaliers. Listen, we took this Cavaliers 7 games. All right. I was told that I had a bet going on for Game 6, and I said that we were going to force a Game 7, and we did. So it's okay though. Growing pains. It happens.
there's
Congratulations
something that
to the
Cleveland can
Cavs.
do, Steve.
What's that?
There's something that Cleveland can do.
Go ahead.
Help! Throw the towel.
That's
I'm
crazy.
out.
That was wild.
That's crazy.
That's disgusting.
That's
I'm
out
not gonna hold you.
of pocket. That's out of pocket. But
Now,
yeah,
I but Sneed though, listen, I'll be honest with you. Like the fact that there's a chance that in the Celtics series, y'all gonna have to give minutes to Tristan Thompson. Those minutes are going to be disgusting. I'm not
I'm
even gonna hold
sorry.
you.
Listen,
Look,
That's
man, let me
disgusting.
tell you guys something. When I saw Tristan Thompson, and is it Markeith or Marcus that's on the squad right now?
Marcus.
Okay, when those guys are logging big minutes, you're gonna lose. There is no way those guys can be playing 20, 30 minutes.
oh my, this is gonna be a reunion type of series. We gotta see Max Strus, Tristan Thompson, and Mark. I just noticed. Oh my goodness, man, this is gonna
Tristan
be a nasty.
Thompson getting
This is
minutes,
gonna be a physical. This is gonna
Game
be a
7 is
nasty.
disgusting.
This is gonna be a
I couldn't
This is gonna
believe
be a
that.
physical series. It's gonna be. It's gonna get physical. It's
It's
gonna
just
be.
gonna be messy though, True, but it ain't gonna change the outcome of the
Yeah,
game.
it's gonna
You
be.
know, it's just gonna be messy. And then
I
the
just know
crowd's
it.
gonna get crazy.
Yeah,
You know, it's
I just forgot about like Marcus. We got to see Marcus and Max Strus. We saw him. Should we see him? What, this is the fourth time we see Max Strus
Fourth
the
time.
playoff. Like, so it's gonna be. It's definitely gonna be. It's definitely gonna be an interesting series, man. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I mean, listen. Hey,
I mean,
one game at a time. One game at a time, man.
yeah, I think the only thing that benefits Cleveland in this series is obviously they're on a more normal schedule right now. Boston obviously hasn't played, in 6 days, almost a week. So, can Cleveland come out and kind of keep, their momentum of having played more recently to start the game? Not saying the Celtics will be rusty, but you know what I mean. It's that can they do that, and can they manage that part of the game early? Because again, if the Celtics come out and jump on them early, particularly tonight, it's going to be a very long season for Cleveland.
Yeah,
Very long series, excuse me, for Cleveland. So
yeah.
Well, if I could speak to that, Sean, I would say the Cavs playing with house money gives them the chance to kind of think, well, we're just shooting for the stars. We don't have a legit chance. Like nobody thinks we're going to win this series,
right,
so our back is up against the wall. We're just a puncher's chance, right?
yeah,
But I mean, when the Cavs have been favorites in series, like against the Knicks last year, they got their asses kicked.
yeah,
You know what I'm so like. This is a team that, in my opinion, has developed a knack for underachieving.
hmm,
When they should have finished second or third in the East, they finished fourth.
Y'all
And
was
they
hurt though.
spiraled and lost a bunch of games. But I'm just saying, like, whatever the case may be, a guy's
Yeah,
knee, injuries, it doesn't really matter to me, True, because the outcome is the outcome. I don't look for excuses. The Lakers got bounced out of the playoffs. I don't care if it's 5 games, 4 games. I don't care that the games are close. Those types of things don't matter. The outcome's the only thing that matters, right?
yeah,
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 Because at the end of the day, they're going to evaluate JD Bickerstaff and say, how far did you go? Who did you beat? What were the circumstances? I mean, it's really about the outcomes,
yeah,
right? They're going to say, well, you had Donovan Mitchell and you had these guys, and this is what you did, and it's you can't. I'll be honest with you, bro. Does JD Bickerstaff deserve to get fired if they get swept out of the series? No, he doesn't. But the team didn't move forward if they get swept out of the playoffs in this round because what they do last year.
lost in the first round.
I
Yeah.
mean, y'all advanced at least.
But
I
that's
mean,
that's what I'm saying. It'd be the same place you're at this year.
Well, yeah, I think the only thing Snead, from an organization perspective, I would think about is are you making increment improvements every year toward your goal? And is this the group that can get you to your ultimate goal? I don't know if JB Bickerstaff is the long term answer in Cleveland, but what I do know is that he has provided at least a great deal of stability over the last 3 seasons anyway. Um, but for whether or not I think the big question obviously is Donovan Mitchell's status going into next season. And then do you go ahead and extend Evan Mobley now, or do you wait to maintain flexibility, depending on what happens with D. Mitch? So I think the roster is going to be a little in flux just based on those two decisions as well. But for me, it's are you brick by brick? Last year you lost in the first round. The year before it was the play-in. This year, it presumably will be the second round, depending on what happens. I think from an organizational perspective, they're going to try to look at it in that lens, as opposed to, and to your point, well, we got swept by Boston. Let's get rid of JB Bickerstaff.
Mic check.
yo, yo,
I'm good.
yeah, you
Yeah,
good?
go ahead, bro.
All
Let's
right.
go steady.
What's salute everybody?
Salute, bro.
Salute, sturdy.
I started in the building.
Nah, keep doing your thing. I just want to do a mic check. That's it.
Well, yeah. So Sneed, I want to ask you. So if you guys don't, re-sign Donovan Mitchell in the offseason, because obviously I think everyone knows he's probably going to opt out. Um, how would you construct the roster to move forward?
I think you're basically going all in with Evan Mobley, and then you're going to build around that. I don't know what you do in terms of is it then a core of Garland and Mobley, Do you keep Allen? Are you looking to move Allen? Are you trying to get a pick? Are you trying to make a free agent signing? I mean, it's hard to get a guy to come to Cleveland if the guy, which is Donovan Mitchell, if he doesn't stay.
Hmm.
You got a chance landing guys if you have the guy already there. You have a chance. But these
Um,
guys, these younger stars, they want to be in coastal cities.
I agree with
Like
that.
they want to be in New York and they want to be in Brooklyn. I mean, bro, like the Brooklyn Nets had they have no history outside of getting beat in the NBA Finals. When Jason Kidd was there. So the fact that KD and Kyrie and those guys were there, well, now they're in. That's Brooklyn, and now they're in limbo with no direction of their franchise, with no star, right? So these stars, when they get to these franchises, you try to hold them. I mean, look at what these teams will do for a star. Like, look at what goes on at LA because it's LeBron. Like, absolute madness and mayhem and stupidity goes on at LA because LeBron is there. I mean,
True.
and that's just the star that's an aging. It's an age star. Like he's not even a difference maker in winning anymore. You know what I'm saying? And they'll do whatever it takes to keep him or whatever. Like Darvin Ham, did Darvin Ham really deserve to get fired because they lost in 5 games to the Nuggets? So I'm looking at shit like that goes around the league to just keep these stars. I mean, look at what Milwaukee did. They fired a guy who was like what, number 2 in the East or number 1?
30 and 13. Let him
yeah,
go. Let him
second to
wild.
East. They second to East.
Like
Yeah.
look at the extremes of the things that we're seeing to maintain and keep these stars. So they'll do whatever it takes to keep Donovan Mitchell there. He's clearly the guy. The dude is incredible. I always liked him as a player, but I thought, how does a small shooting guard really do it in this league? And then I saw him in Utah and in that shootout with Denver, during the pandemic and that finals, or what was that, the semifinal,
Hmm.
right? It
Yeah.
was
I
I and
know.
I'm impressed. I think Donovan Mitchell is a great player. They got to find a way to keep him and then just do something else in terms of supplementals. You just have to build a better roster. There just has to be. I don't know. Maybe Mobley just hasn't gotten good enough offensively. Maybe he hasn't been able to become better because of the focus for Donovan Mitchell. There's so many things that you could point to that say could be addressed or considered. But I think it's pretty clear you don't want or need Garland if you're keeping Mitchell. I don't know how you do that. Like, do you return on value with a trade? There's a lot of questions with the roster, man. And it all starts with Mitchell. What happens with him, and then you go from there.
Yeah, I do think that. I do agree with you. It is hard to essentially attract big stars, especially if you're in like a small market where there isn't too much really going on. So yeah, I mean, if you guys can try and keep Mitchell, I'll definitely do that because at least for now, I think he's still the best shooting guard in the league. Now, I think Ant might have something to say about that very soon, but for now, I'm holding out hopes for Donovan Mitchell still as the best shooting guard in the league. As far as just what teams will do to keep their star, yeah, they'll do basically whatever it takes. I mean, like you mentioned before with Giannis, like, listen, I don't care if Giannis said he didn't have nothing to do with it. That the organization does not make that move without Giannis's approval. At the very least, they don't make that move without his approval. So I think that that's just fundamentally understood. Now, I don't think Doc Rivers got a fair shot this year because two of his stars were hurt for a lot of that Pacers series, and I think that they think that they would have won otherwise. So I think you give Doc at least one more chance. But yeah, if you are in these small markets or if you are like a big attraction, because LeBron, as toxic as the environment can be around him, he can still draw out a crowd to basically sell out Laker stadiums in general, whether you love him or hate him. Like he's just gonna bring that attractiveness. So teams will bend the knee depending on your star value still in the league and what money you can actually bring in. So teams are kind of screwed. At least in terms of like small market teams if you don't really have no real direction. So we'll see
I
how it
mean,
goes.
you got
I personally like my team though because we have homegrown stars, homegrown talent that's coming up. You know, we made the proper trades and everything. So I like what my team is at, but
Who's your team?
Orlando.
Orlando. Yeah, they building around that young core. You know?
The thing
That's the
is though,
thing.
like is what you said. I think the most key part what you said was direction. It's the
Right,
owners on the front office at the end of the day.
right.
Like we get it. Stars can have leverage, but at the end of the day, the final decision is made by the front office. Well, I ain't got to go through NBA history. 'Cause I like y'all have to be a story for this one. Let's go through recent history right now. You see, there's a potential the Miami Heat not extend Jimmy Butler,
Mm,
a star player on their team. That's because they have a certain direction and standard. So it's really like me personally, I think basketball fans in general have to be more precise in terms of accountability. We get star players can only leverage their popularity and contract situation to a certain degree. But at the end of the day, the front office hire the coach, fire the coach, get personnel. It's all on them. It's literally in their job description.
Mhm.
And when you think about it, Chris, that's why I don't just relegate it all to LeBron in
mm.
terms of like Lakers history being toxic. That's been the Lakers' way. Drama, sales, like that's literally been their way. If you break down their history. Matter of fact, when people say Lakers is trying to stack up, that's the Laker way too. Every time they don't do the right moves. Look at their history of their franchise. They always try to stack up on stars to band-aid that solution. They did it in '04 with the Lakers. They did it in 2013 with they did it in 2013 as well.
Hmm.
And they actually did it and they did it in the '90s, but the '90s worked because they were able to build around Shaq and Kobe and the other All Stars as well. They did it in the '80s, but it didn't go relegated. It didn't really get scrutinized because they ended up winning back to back championships.
Yeah, I'm at that.
Yeah. I think. I mean, I think again again to Sturdy's point, you do people have to I think look deeper at their organizations, and again, it starts with ownership. What's the mandate from ownership? What are the restrictions that ownership are putting in place? Because now with this new CBA, there are going to maybe some ownership groups that say, "Hey, listen, we are not trying to be a first and second apron team." When you look, I think at the current landscape of the playoffs, I think there were 8 luxury tax paying teams this season. Only 2 of them are left in the playoffs right now: Boston and Denver. So, what are teams saying? Hey, do we have to spend like this to be successful? When you look at the Minnesota model right now, or obviously OKC and others, so I think that's going to be interesting. But also, the leverage that the Stars have, and again, D. Mitch right now is in the leverage play of, hey, listen, I'm going to test the market when I'm available. I've not been a free agent yet. I'm going to test the market. Um, and if Cleveland does not want to go through, sorry, Snead, 2010 again, they may say, hey, well, listen, where would you be interested in going? Let's see if we can move you. My team for them is Brooklyn. Brooklyn's got to figure out what they're going to do with Ben Simmons' contract first. They
Yeah.
can do anything with it at all. But I would look at Brooklyn as probably the spot he would want to go because obviously he's from New York and blah blah blah. So um, so it is going to be a very interesting off season, with the new CBA, but also just these guys, who want extensions or who want to test the market, what teams are going to decide to do.
Um, it is to call back to a conversation that had on mind the game. I was it was it mind the game? Yeah, mind the game podcast, right? When it was referring to like what actually makes a super team, quote unquote, is the role players. I think people took it as if JJ Redick and LeBron were trying to narrative bend, but reality that is extremely vital. I remember the conversation we had in the shop, like we were referring to. Remember role players like IQ, like we get like star players typically get most of the credit, but you notice on most of these championship teams, they typically have a high IQ, multiple high IQ role players,
Yes,
being guys that being a star in your role. And
yes,
so to me, the reason why we're not going to see, I gotta put it, quote unquote, big three. in terms of like acclimated from big free agency is primarily because those type of role players necessary, they're more expensive. Because the stars, no matter what, going to get paid, no matter what era, no matter what CBA. But now those type of role players, they come at a premium now.
Yeah.
You can't get a Shane Battier for like 5 to 7 million or more.
Yeah.
A Shane Battier type is like 20 million minimum.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So unless you're a team that like that do proper trades, to do proper drafting, that you can allocate good quality role players bird rights to, you're at a disadvantage.
Yeah, and I think it also started what it also points to, and I think you're going to see a little bit more of this. I think some teams, not all, but some teams are going to be very hesitant to send out draft picks like that, particularly unprotected draft picks, because of the value of having a Paolo on a rookie deal. Obviously, he's the first pick of the draft, but even like, look at just this year's rookie class. Brandon Pozemski and Jaime Jaquez. These guys were not, top 3 picks, but they're all first team NBA rookies, and they had great impact for their teams this season. So I think that's the other thing you're going to see is, can you draft, can you find guys who can come in ready to play today, ready to help today, if you have a team that you believe is built to compete for championships immediately.
Mhm. To be honest, I think they should these GMs should get a little more creative and like see if they can set up that the undrafted market better.
Yeah,
Like if I was a GM, I'm like if I have a guy that's in the draft that's like somewhat valuable towards the later half of the draft, like late first round, I'm not going to allow the contenders to get it. Instead, I'm going to Danny Ainge it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna lower the price. I'm gonna lower his reputation so that way if he does fall out, if he doesn't get drafted, that's an easy pick. That's a cheaper pickup for me.
what I think will be interesting, Sturdy, is not anytime soon, but within the next couple of CBAs, if we don't see an expansion of the draft beyond 2 rounds.
Why you say that?
Because, so for example, like, there was a time when the NBA had more than 2 rounds in the draft.
Yeah, like 6 in the 80s.
Yeah. So could we see the NBA expand from 2 to say 4 rounds in the draft? And those third and fourth round picks are guys that are signed on 2-way deals or signed to G League deals, but these NBA teams maintain their rights because they drafted them. So using more of a minor league system, if you will, to address the need for inexpensive talent in a market that says yes, your top players are going to take up 80% of your cap without question.
You're just gonna need an innovative GM to do that, and then for them to win, so that way other teams they'll have a ripple effect. And
Yeah,
that's the real copycat aspect of the league.
right,
Like the front office are the ones that try to copycat other front offices, than opposed to like the coaches and the players.
right, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But shout out to Rudy Gobert, man, being a four-time, four-time DPOY, man. Shout out to that guy.
Yeah, I think his orange jacket is locked up sturdy.
1,000%. Don't say that too loud, Sean.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You know what happened, Sean? Like people was like they utilized this the Wolves performance against them. They weaponized it against them. They were saying, see, this is why Wemby should get it, because as you saw in game 2, the Wolves able to perform at elite level without Wemby. But then they went back to the on and off thing with Wemby in terms of the Spurs.
Mm,
So to me, it's more so like I'm trying to get people out of this notion of, I get it. Basketball, a single player can have a huge influence on the game, but especially in today's era, it's way more nuanced than that.
yeah.
Even with Wemby, right? A lot of people don't know they don't pay attention to the specific lineup that he spends majority of his 28 minutes. A lot of people know I'm gonna get the lineup in a bit. Like this, that specific lineup is the reason why the Spurs are top three. It's not just Wemby alone.
Right.
Because and it's granted it's a small sample because he only playing 28 minutes a game, but in those other moments where it's not in that lineup, they're either towards the bottom of the league or like just around hovering average. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, he has tremendous impact, but I'm just saying the team aspect of basketball, like, is going. I think, in my opinion, is starting to get more highlighted now.
Yeah.
Primarily because of the CBA and its restrictions on star players. Really, the Supermax, to be honest with you. The Supermax is really incentivizing these players not to go
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's I heard some of y'all conversations earlier. It's
Mhm.
over for the Wolves. It's I mean for the Nuggets. It's over. That's done.
I mean, listen, I want to see what they do in Game 3, and particularly in the first quarter. That's going to tell me if they believe they got some fight or not.
Because
Um,
Sean, I've been trying. Like I was going through this like almost all day. I'm like, how can the Nuggets speed up the Wolves? But that's their only hope because Reggie Jackson banged up, Jamal Murray banged up.
yeah,
And even if those guys are healthy, that's like 2.5 of guys that can like create for other people.
yeah,
So they gotta speed up the game to get simply more transition points. Obviously, the more you attack a defense that's not set, the better off your chance of scoring.
yeah,
And at least in the half court, I think they can do some things to get more favorable mismatches, in
yeah,
particular for Murray. But the problem is with this Wolves team, they slowing down the Nuggets' ability to get into the offense,
yeah,
and it's primarily because they all picking up like it's like Joker can't bring the ball up, Murray can't bring the ball up, and so when KCP brings the ball up or Aaron Gordon brings the ball up, you can tell there's still an unfamiliarity to that. Or the Wolves, what they do, they still make Jokic and Murray work to come get the ball back from those guys.
yeah, yeah,
So if I'm Mike Malone, I'm I have this. I might have to trust more in the decision making of a KCP a little bit more, of an Aaron Gordon a little bit more to help Jokic and Murray get the ball closer to their spots.
yeah, yeah.
Because outside of that, Sean, I don't know. I'm be honest with you, because it's bad. This is real bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's again, for me, it's can they at some point do something to send a message early in the game to set a tone. Like that's what I'm gonna be looking for them. Not even just how they're playing, but set a hard screen once. Take a hard foul once. Put somebody down once. Just do something to say y'all will not bully us. Because we can lose the game, but you're losing the game and the fight both badly. And
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no, I was gonna say, see if you could just see how Minnesota responds to it. Well, because right now Minnesota's playing with a lot of freedom, mentally. Can you shift the psychological focus just a little bit for them to make them, focus on not getting bullied or beat or hit back? You know what I mean? It's those little things that I'm gonna look for from Denver Friday night to see if they have any chance in this series. Um, and again, can they get more double pin down actions to free MPJ? You know, um, because I think that's a big key, like we talked about last night. Like, they got other stuff they can do, I believe, to give themselves a better chance. Not saying they're gonna win, but just make some adjustments to give yourself a better chance.
I did. I'm be honest with you, Sean. While we watched that game, to
Mhm.
me, there was a lot of shocking factors of it. But the biggest shocking factor was I don't recall the Nuggets team unraveling like that.
Yeah.
Like they lost their composure early in that game,
Right. Yeah.
early,
Yeah.
and from Mike Malone getting in the ref's face to Jamal. The thing is with the heat pad thing,
Yeah.
he tried to throw something at the ref again. He just missed.
Yeah.
So it's like and that's extremely unlike them, and
Yeah.
it was such a steep reaction. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. I mean, when the cerebral guy or the cerebral team is doing stuff that you don't expect them to do, it does like beg the question, like, where are they right now? Because again, they were the one team that you thought, okay, up 20, down 20, they pretty much kind of stayed within themselves. And last night, to your point, was the first time where I saw and I was like, yeah, they're not staying within themselves right now. So
And that's why I say it's over because the series is only gonna get more physical.
yeah,
Like, isn't what you think? Like, even if you do get game three, right?
right,
You think you're gonna tie up that series over there? When like we all know that's a confident team. And remember I told you, Sean, like
yeah,
I think the trials. I don't think they don't get enough attention for how they bounce back from their trials, what they was dealing with throughout the regular season and playoffs.
yeah. I mean, so my thoughts 30 is if you're Denver, you go in Friday with the mindset we got to get one, obviously here, at least one. Make sure there's a game five in Denver. Um, but obviously, ultimately, you got to win two in Minnesota to win the series. But in this particular instance, get one. And I use Boston last year as an example. Boston went down 3-0 to Miami, lost the first two games at home. They got that one in Miami, and they gave themselves a chance by stretching it to a game seven at home. So I think if you're Denver, you have to kind of take that mentality is, yeah, we lost the first two at home. We can't do anything about that. Let's focus on getting one here right now to make sure there's at least a game five in Denver. If you can get two there, cool, but get one. Just get one.
I believe the NBA history was 29 teams that lost their first two home games when they had home court advantage.
Yes.
And out of those 29 teams, only five of them
Five and come back. Yeah.
managed to win.
Yeah.
I stand on this, man. I'd rather be trailing by 20 against a great offensive team than opposed to a great defensive team.
Easily.
Because basketball is a natural game of runs anyway. But the energy just for you to get back to even against or even not just even, just within striking distance against a good defensive team,
Yeah.
you're not gonna have much energy to close them out. Than
Yeah.
opposed to an offensive team where they're most likely, like we knowing, there's just ebbs and flows in basketball. So when you do make the game within striking distance, there's less resistance,
Right.
less energy used just to win the game.
Yeah.
And there's too many problems, Sean. Like they're athletic, they're just as big. They're more athletic. They're just as big. They got the depth. They and then another thing too. People were saying, I love the physicality they play in these playoffs all around, but people were saying even if Denver start getting a friendly whistle, they have the depth at key positions that is not gonna. They still have to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hey, man, I just need hopefully they get the job done quick, Sean, so I can get paid early.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. But I'm gonna jump off here. Start. I know Brother O's got his R&B album draft tonight, so I'm gonna jump off here and take care of some stuff before that. And you coming in there, of course.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll see you over there, man.
I'm getting the cheat code for my mom right now, man.
Yeah, yeah. Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
What you mean?
Nah, man. No, I'm kidding, man. No, I'm kidding, man. Nah, man. Listen, I'm gonna be Larry Bird tonight at the 3-point contest. Who coming in second? That's gonna be
Hey,
mine.
I'm not gonna lie. If Tiff shows up, I'm not gonna lie, man. I think Tiff and of course Pretty B. I think those two are your biggest confidence draft.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they might have some stuff, but I got some
I'm
things, and I got some
not gonna
stuff.
lie, Sean.
I got
Dark
some stuff
horse.
in the. Listen, depending on where I'm picking, I got some stuff in the chamber, and me, mine goes back way back. So, you know,
But the only person I think is a dark horse, Sean. I think Ralph. I think this might be Ralph's like best draft. To be honest with
well, listen, we know Ralph is probably gonna pick 5 MJ albums, 3 Chris Brown albums.
Nah, like no, Sean, like I think Ralph. He's this is crazy. That's the one part of his music, like he's subtle with. I pay attention to Ralph when you or like when you and I have conversations with Swish or even Lou or Brother O like about the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah,
Ralph, you notice like he barely talks.
right.
So that's how you tell he's listening. He's tentative. He's agreeing. So it's like I'm like, okay, Ralph do know. And of course, like I'm not gonna lie, during this, the beef, the diss tracks, like Ralph was naming all the samples, like
Yeah, right.
immediately. So I think he's Starkers. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
say.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
All right, yeah. I'll catch you later, Sean.
All right, man. I'll see you in a minute.